Late Night Pro Wrestling in Fort Pierce, Florida. Jay Rios, one of the stars, one of the wrestling stars for the Lucha World Order. There's a special moment tonight. You had the Lucha World Order tag teaming against each other. It was a really cool moment. What did that mean to you?
I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't say that coming here tonight, we weren't all coming here with a heavy heart. Not for bad reasoning, but we're setting off a brother who we understand is going on to continue his journey and to succeed and make a name for himself on a grander scale, which is all of our goal. And I think tonight, knowing that those days of us running, being on the road together and sharing matches and sharing just the locker room above all, and just that brotherhood that we have on the road, it's going to be one of the things that we miss. But I also know that it's just going to be a small pause for a little while until we all meet again very soon.
Have you guys ever worked together like that in a tag match against each other?
We've done various different matches between Mr. 450, Lince, Dorado, Cruz, and myself. We all know each other like the back of our own hands. Between Cruz and I alone, we've been a team for nearly 9 years. We've been together for a fairly long time and traveling up and down the roads and just, adding on 2 new brothers to this brotherhood that we call the Lucha World Order, and Mr. 450 and Lince Dorado. It's been an amazing 4.5 years, just riding up and down and just establishing not just a name for ourselves, but setting a standard. And I think that's the thing that we took most pride in, was setting the standard for going on shows, whether they be in Florida or anywhere around the world, and just, giving those fans that didn't necessarily know exactly who we were when we first stepped into the ring, and making sure that they knew that they'd never forget us the second we left,
Like tonight.
Yeah, especially, tonight was just special for everyone involved, for everyone all around. You got Mr. 450 and Angel Rose behind you, just doing all these shenanigans. They're great guys.
I was gonna do that quickly.
These are the things. This is pro wrestling, guys. This is the fun part about pro wrestling, and that's the brotherhood and sisterhood that you create with all of the people that share that same passion that you do.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Part of the Lucha World Order, Mr. 450.
How you doing?
Florida indie fans know him. He's wrestled all over the place, but he's one of the top indie talents going today. In the Cruiserweight Classic WWE, he's an alternate. You're getting asked a lot of questions about the Cruiserweight Classic. I want to ask you this one, though. How does that Cruiserweight Classic in WWE help the cruiserweights that are around the world?
Oh, it does. It helps a ton. Not only because it was 32 of the best cruiserweights in the world, but there was another batch of 6 guys that ended up getting narrowed down to 5 guys that were top-notch guys. Guys from all over, they've been all over, and it helps not only the cruiserweights, but it helps the up-and-coming wrestlers that are starting to wrestle, that had that dream that, hey, I want to be in the WWE, but maybe I didn't have a chance because I wasn't a 6'5" guy, 300 pounds, So it not only helps guys are up and coming, the cruiserweights, but it also is great for the fans because they get to see a little bit of everything that's happening all over the world, because these are guys from all over the world. So I think, me personally, it's great for wrestling altogether, and it's a blessing for the cruiserweight division. It's amazing.
Now you're an alternate, but still, just to be considered. It's almost like the Academy Awards or whatever. If you're a nominee, you may not win, but you're a nominee. It still has to be a great feeling that you were one of the guys considered for this.
It feels amazing, not only because I'm there, but I get to see and experience my friends living out their dream, live right there, and it's amazing. Like, to see my buddies like Lince Dorado, Rich Swann, Mustafa Ali, who I've known for years, Arya Dabari, who I've known for years, just to watch them be able to get that opportunity that they've been waiting for so long. It feels amazing, and then at the same time, it's like a bittersweet because it's like, oh, I want to be there right with them, but I'm still there. And I know that it's not going to be the last one, and this time I was considered as an alternate. Maybe next year I'll be in the Cruiserweight Classic of next year, so you never know. So I'm really, really excited, really super blessed, and super thankful more than anything that I get to experience this with my friends. So it's an awesome feeling.
Mr. 450, where did you get your start in training for wrestling?
I first started wrestling in Puerto Rico. I trained under the Invader #3, Johnny Rivera. He's a former WWF wrestler. He wrestled in all Japan, wrestled in Mexico, all over Mexico, and he was like one of the most important parts to the junior heavyweight division in Puerto Rico. And he trained me when I started training with him when I was 15 years old. So he not only embedded a lot of wrestling knowledge on me, but how to like carry yourself outside the ring, because he was a really humble person and somebody that I really look up to because of that. Like, he's 60-something years old right now, and people still talk about how nice and how humble he is, and like people always remember that. So yeah, I got my start in Puerto Rico under Invader #3.
Courtesy and professionalism go a long way.
Yes, they do.
Really does. The Lucha World Order, yourself, John Cruz, Jay Rios, and Lince Dorado. You had a special moment tonight at Ignite Wrestling. Just what was the moment like with you four there and just together doing your thing?
It's been like a roller coaster of emotions of like weeks. Like since the Cruiserweight Classic to now, it's been really emotional for all of us, because it's like we know that eventually like it's not gonna be the whole group anymore, and it sucks. It's like we put a lot of time and years on the road together, and like I feel like the last few years we have bonded, and our friendship has become even more and more, you know, like a unit. Like the fact that we train together, the fact that we travel together, the fact that we stay in hotel rooms together, like we do everything together. So it was a really great moment to just have with them, and in front of the Ignite fans, it was even awesome because they understand, you know, and they know us, and they see us, and they seen us. So the fact that we had the opportunity to do that was amazing. And, you know, like I always pride myself on being like a tough guy, but it's like, you know, these guys, like, come on, man, you couldn't help but to shed a tear because these are your brothers, you know. So like it's like super like awesome, and it sucks at the same time, but I know that this is gonna lead on to better things for everybody. And eventually, you know, like we're all gonna be together in the bigger stage where we need to be, and I know that in my heart. So it is bad for today, but I think it's gonna be great tomorrow. So, yep.
Well, what's great for tomorrow too is Mr. 450 is continuing to wrestle. You get a chance to see him, check him out. Thank you, Mr. 450.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me here.
John Cruz of the LWO, the Lucha World Order, here at Ignite Wrestling in Fort Pierce, South Florida. John, first, how did you get started in the business?
Actually, it's my 14th year in. I started actually back home in Puerto Rico. I was a big fan when I was smaller. My dad used to wrestle back home as well, so he used to take me to the matches. So before I even knew what wrestling was, I was surrounded by it. So just right after high school, you know, the day I graduated, the next day I was wrestling school and took off from there.
So it really was a family thing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It was always in my family. Like his brothers wrestled, my uncles, his father wrestled, so it's always in the family. So.
How big of wrestling is it in Puerto Rico?
It's huge. It's I can't even describe how huge it is. You know, it's such a small island, but it's so dense, right? So and they're so passionate. Like, I've never been in front of a crowd so passionate, and it's something like I long for those days to go back and wrestle in front of them, because it's something that you never forget.
Those fans really believe in what's happening.
Absolutely. Like to this day, you still get, you know, batteries thrown at you. You get your tires slashed, and you got to be careful, you know. But it's an atmosphere where a professional can thrive in. You know, they still believe it. You still do your job correctly, and it's what wrestling is all about.
Who were some of your favorites growing up?
I was first introduced back in the 80s to Hulk Hogan, just because he was so big in the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that. He was larger than life, and that's what attracted me to wrestling, just the visual of this giant bronze man in yellow tights and red boots, you know. But slowly after that, like once I started understanding what wrestling was, I actually gravitated to the smaller guys, because I'm a smaller guy myself. So you got Shawn Michaels, you know, your Bret Harts, and after them, the Rey Mysterios, the Eddie Guerreros, the Psicosis, you know, stuff like that, and people like that I gravitate to. And if you watch my matches, like I take a little bit of everyone. I try to make my own style.
What about from the Puerto Rico and the wrestlers there?
Absolutely. Puerto Rico, actually, my original trainer, I was in Puerto Rico, is actually on Lucha Underground right now. He's in Muertes. He was huge in Puerto Rico, and if he doesn't go back, he'd still be huge. Him, Rey Gonzalez, Carlos Colon, you know, his kids. It's such a small island, so you get to experience all these people firsthand, and it's all you see every weekend. There's wrestling every weekend there. It's not like once a month, once in a couple months, every Friday, Saturday. Before it used to be Thursday through Sunday, every week.
Do you ever wrestle back in Puerto Rico?
Actually, I'm going next week for CWA. Yep, going. I'll leave Friday 29th, or so 30th, come back 31st.
What are your goals?
I would lie. I do want to make it to the WWE.
You see what's going on now with the Cruiserweight Classic and things like that.
That was before this year. It was honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it was a dream, but I thought it was always gonna be that, just a dream, and I'm just gonna do it until my body tells me to stop. Last 6 or 7 months, I started realizing they're showcasing all these smaller guys, and one of them, Lince Dorado, who I just wrestled with, he's there. You know, so it's not impossible anymore for a guy of my weight and stature to make it. So now I'm actually pushing even harder.
Tonight was special because the Lucha World Order in the ring together.
Yes.
The 4 talented wrestlers, 4 talented luchadors, all different styles there that you guys can go. What was it like? And this probably will be Lince's final indie show.
Yeah.
Or at least with you guys together. So what was that like doing that tag match like that tonight?
We knew we knew this time was coming up, you know, without giving too much away, because I don't want to, I want him to announce it, but we know it's soon. So and this just happened by circumstance. We were gonna wrestle somebody else who didn't make it, and they gave us the option of just me wrestle my partner in the singles, and I just said, this is the perfect opportunity for, in my opinion, a send-off. You know, and that's what we gave each other and the fans. We wanted to end this group on a good note, on a happy ending. You know, and honestly, it meant the world, but it's not goodbye. I firmly believe it's just we'll see you in a bit. You know?
It's almost like one is breaking through, and now hopefully it'll open the doors.
Hopefully that's yeah. I mean, that's how it works. And Lince said in the ring best, like if you plan for it, it's not gonna happen. You know, you have to just ride the wave. When it's bad, it's bad. When it's good, it's good. And you know, hopefully everything lines up perfectly. There you go, doors open.
How did you feel about the match? Because it had a little of everything. The match had a little of everything. I mean, I find the wrestling, little comedy in there too.
So one thing that we pride ourselves in is just trying to deliver as much fan interaction as we can. You know, I believe we're very multifaceted, we're very multi-talented. I think I did my own commentary tonight. I'm not even sure, maybe.
Yeah, I know, it goes so fast, right?
Yeah.
You try to play it back and then you're like, you watch it and you're like, oh wow, I did that, yeah.
Right. So what we do is honestly, and especially in a show like this, where they give me the leeway to do stuff like this. Not every show is the same, you know. Not everyone's gonna be able to let me do what I want. To a certain extent, I do, but here, Kim Artlett from Ignite just went, you know what? I know what you want to do. I trust you, and we did. And it's something that I can't create that magic with anybody else. It's just them 3. You know, there's no way I can do it with anybody else.
Well, John, thank you so much for taking some time. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
WWE fans, you know this man from the Cruiserweight Classic.
Wow.
Lince Dorado. Florida fans know him as well. This guy, he's been traveled around all over the place. And what a talent. And I'm going to start this with, what is your passion? Why do you enjoy doing this?
I mean, my passion, everybody's passion, if you're in this business, is wrestling or lucha libre, which is my style. You know, my passion is to go out there and entertain, and as well as be the best professional wrestler, best luchador out that I can be. And you know, I'm living that dream, and I think everybody should live that dream because dreams do come true.
Where did you get your start? And how was that for you getting started and the people that helped you?
I actually got my start over in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with a company called Chikara Pro. And at that time it was called the Wrestle Factory because there was another company affiliated with it, CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling. And you know, eventually they split. I really didn't know that they split because I was so young. And I kind of just stuck with Chikara, and then later on in my career I got to go to Mexico where I learned the authentic Lucha Libre style under El Pantera and Skyda, great legends of the Lucha Libre, and still wrestling to this day. Great guys. And as well as I got to go to Japan and did a bunch of seminars with a lot of great people. So I'm very fortunate with my training.
Your experiences, whether it's going to Mexico or Canada, you guys mentioned Canada, right?
Yep, Canada.
So Japan, like you said, all over the United States. Just what is it like getting the experience to go to these different places and the different types of wrestling and maybe incorporating it?
Of course, I'm very well-rounded. I could go toe-to-toe with any guy in any style because of the places that I've been to. And just to see and meet all these great people, all these great athletes, all these great wrestlers and lucha guys, is just a great experience. And I think it's just makes me a better competitor in the ring. It makes me a better luchador. So to experience that and experience the culture, it's not about just the wrestling. It's about experiencing the culture. And everywhere I've gone, I've been very grateful. And I love traveling. I love wrestling. I love life right now.
It's got you at the point where you're at now, which is at a great place. What was it like for you participating in this Cruiserweight Classic and just being at Full Sail Live and coming out to all the Jumbotron they had there and all the lighting and the music and the name, everything about it? Just what was that like?
It's very cliche, but the answer is it's a dream come true. It's a very humbling experience, especially all the trials and tribulations that I've been through, all the injuries and all the upsets and all the no's, we don't need you kind of thing. And to finally make it there and make an impact on my first night, it was just a great experience, and it's just very, very humbling. And I think that was the experience that I needed as a performer and as a luchador that, to better mature me for what's to come.
When you're there and you're in the moment, so you're really focused on your match. The crowd's going wild. Do you watch it later and then see everything else that's going on around? Do you do that or no? You don't?
It's out there, you're preparing for the match before, and then when you go out there, you kind of forget everything. The nerves that you left at the curtain are gone, and you're just feeling off of the energy from the fans. And it's people will say, oh man, I need that, I fuel off of that. But that was the first time I actually got to experience and actually believe that was, it was addictive. It's almost like a drug that the fans interacting with you, not physically, but emotionally, and they experienced what I was experiencing. That was magic in the ring. And that crowd was just electrifying. The passion that they give, I give back.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it. I watched it about 2 hours after it aired, and that was because my phone was just blowing up, and it was a little bit too stressful seeing the numbers on the icons, and I had to turn off my phone, and it was just later on when I got to watch it, it was almost like I was still there, and I actually got to watch it as a fan, and to me, I thought I did the best job that I could, and the crowd approved it, so I'm happy.
Do you think this will open doors to, not just for you, but other cruiserweights?
Oh, absolutely. I think right now this is a great time for professional wrestling. I think this is a great time for all the guys coming into business, as well as other guys who have been in the business long enough and just needed that opportunity, that platform. And I think it's more acceptable now that wrestlers or lucha guys are a little bit smaller, more athletic, and can do a lot more things that guys maybe 10 years ago couldn't do. And I think right now the Cruiserweight division is going to be revolutionary. It's not a new concept, but it's a new breed of wrestlers.
Two things, we'll let you go. Got to ask you about the mask, the ring gear. Not only are you talented in the ring, but you're talented in that you design your mask and your ring gear, and you design ring gear for others as well, other wrestlers. How did that come about? How did you learn to do something like that?
Yeah, so it started in 2008. Of course, I thought the ring gear, me growing up, Lucha Libre was the style and the wrestling that I grew up watching. So, of course, you had the extravagant costumes, the masks, the colors, the athleticism. And with that comes the presentation. So I thought it was very big, especially for me to make an impact. Because the first time they see you, that's the first initial moment. So if you look like Joe Schmo, they're not going to interact with you. But if you look like a superhero or a star, you know, instant gravitational to you. And yeah, so 2008, you know, because I had that mindset, and I was a little bit younger, and I didn't really have a lot of money, but what I was asking for cost a lot. So eventually I was like, you know, I think I could do this, and got a couple yards of fabric. I made the crappiest tights I've ever made in my life, and then 10 years later I picked it back up, and you know, ever since then it's just trial and error.
Do you still have that?
Oh, I still have the first pair. It's actually hanging up framed. It's a reminder of where I came from and where I've started, and then, you know, where I'm at today.
Are you self-taught then in sewing and making
This was
ring gear?
before YouTube. This is reading books, asking people, taking apart clothing and kind of looking at it, seeing how it was made, re-engineering, and it's just you know, like you said, self-taught.
Is there any rivalry in ring gear making with Saratan and Lince Dorado?
Oh no, me and him are great friends. We actually feed off of each other. Like he'll ask me how to make masks, and I'll ask him, hey, is this the right pattern, or what would you do different? So it's no competition because we're in a different playing field. But eventually, hey man, you never might know. So.
And have you worked Mikaze before?
Oh yeah, me and him have worked. Never a singles match. We were supposed to in Connecticut in 2011, I believe. Yeah, it just didn't work out because of travel issues or promotion, Camden or whatever. But actually just recently, about 2000, let's say 15, we got to work before he went to WWE, and in a four-way, and it was a great time, and you know, still to this day, great friends.
And I'll end this part of it with this about the mask you're wearing now. Yep, I was going to look at it a little bit. What was the inspiration behind this match? And everything for you is the cat.
Yes.
Right? It's the cat. Yep. So what was this inspiration? What kind of cat?
So the character is a Lince, and it was given to me because my training, I was very agile, I was very always landing on my feet for a certain thing. So my trainers thought it was appropriate that I be some kind of cat, and the Lince came to mind for whatever reason. It's a very intricate cat. It's a very beautiful cat to look at, which is in my style. It's very beautiful to watch. And this is the mask that me and another person, Jesse Hernandez, designed. He's a great artist, especially right now in the lucha community. And the inspiration with this was a little bit more traditional lucha, which is the material. It's called lame, and it's just, you know, it's not spandex. It's like I said, original lucha, traditional lucha materials that you can see like Santo and Blue Demon wear. And it's just, it looks nicer and more traditional, which is what I like. I like being traditional.
Lince Dorado, excellent wrestler. This is unbelievable. If you've never got a chance to see him, you will. Whether or not you watch him on the Indies or the Cruiserweight Classic with WWE, this wrestler is really sought after, very highly spoken of, and he also designs those masks. The thing I want to ask him, though, and his ring gear too, about the Lucha World Order. We covered a few things, but with Lucha World Order, this is John Cruz, Jay Rios, Mr. 450, and yourself. What has this group meant to you?
You know, it's not only a way of life, it's not only an acronym, it's not only just a catchy name, it's a brotherhood. And, you know, growing up in the business, the way that we all came up is just, you know, to meet some guys with the same passion, the same style, the same desire, the same drive, just means a lot. We're able to talk to each other in and out of wrestling, just hang out, not talk about wrestling. It's just, like I said, it really means brotherhood to me, especially somebody who hasn't had a great relationship with his family. This is my family, and those guys mean a lot to me, and I'll never forget them. One day they're going to be, you know, with me, and we're just going to, you know, shop all over the world again.
Lince, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.